5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to the inaugural edition, the first edition of Cannot Make This Up, where we explore, break down, and argue all facets of life in a roundtable discussion from the minds of us millennials. Well,
Here we are.
We done made it. I can't believe we're here. I honestly cannot believe we're here. We're here in a great, beautiful Studio 4 at Podcast Detroit in Royal Oak. Our engineer, Randy, is going to do a great job of keeping us in line, keeping us in order. And before we get rolling, I think everybody should take the time to introduce themselves because this is a roundtable discussion. We are kind of like the Knights of the Round Table, joined by King Arthur and all that good stuff, all that nerdy stuff I like. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to bring that to the show. But I'll start with the introduction and we'll go to my right around the table. So my name is Darian Harris. I attended Michigan State University, played football there from 2011 to 2015. Had a lot of success there on the football field. Got my undergrad degree in journalism. After leaving Michigan State, I went to play for the Cincinnati Bengals for a little bit, and I now play for the Ottawa Redblacks of the CFL. I'm also working on my master's degree in marketing. Also do radio and TV in the local area of East Lansing, Michigan, and I'm a graduate assistant in the athletic administration. So I think what you're going to find is a lot of us bring a lot of different things to this table, to this roundtable discussion, and I'll pass it to my right.
My name's Tawan Jones. Went to Michigan State University with Darian, college roommate. Played football at Michigan State. Played 2 years with the New York Jets. Free agent right now. Currently, just steady training. Starting a camp for kids with special needs, and actually going back to school this semester to finally finish it up because I left early. But other than that, like Darian said, we all bring something special to the table. So I'm gonna pass it to Tone.
And I'm Tone, a.k.a. Anthony Smith, a.k.a. Anthony Smooth, a.k.a. whatever you want to call me. I don't have quite the resume as the two people on my left, but Central Michigan student studying psychology right now, ex-Canadian superstar, new dad.
That's a
New
key
dad.
one. That's a key
New
one.
dad.
New dad. That is a key one.
Beautiful little girl.
Beautiful little girl. How did that feel? I mean, we'll get into that, I'm sure, but this is recent. She was born on what day?
December 16th.
And it was an interesting time to get her out. She was trapped in there for a while, man. We had a free Aaliyah campaign going for a long time, but you are a new dad, and we're extremely happy for you. And that's once again, those are the things that we bring to the table.
Now the Canadian.
I am Canadian. Jason Marshall. Went to high school with Tawan and BJ here to my right. I attend Lambton College in Sarnia, Ontario. That's in Canada for those who are unfamiliar. Play basketball, captain of the basketball team. It's my last year and studying marketing.
There it is.
All right. Last year of how many, Jason?
We're not going to get into that.
Oh, we're definitely going to get into that.
Everyone,
going to get into that.
Everyone's path is different.
Everyone's path is different. You're right.
Yeah, BJ.
Well, anyway, I'm BJ, Brandon Jordan, 24 years old.
Why
Not
you
a
talking
Michigan
so
State
soft?
student, this is how I talk.
Okay.
I talk soft.
All right.
He's a
You
cop.
enjoy
What you do,
long
man.
walks on the beach.
This is not a dating app, man. Let's go. Come on. Speak up.
BJ, Brandon Jordan.
Anyway, I'm a criminal justice student. I work in law enforcement, currently working in my third department, and this group of guys right here is a group of my best friends.
No,
Looking forward to this journey.
I'm not his friend.
You always got to throw that in there. But, I think that you're going to find out, like I said, that everybody brings something different to the table. And, what we had in our introduction, which will be our introduction for every single show, it's minds of us millennials. I think that millennials is thrown out there as such a bad word from time to time. But I don't necessarily agree that it is a bad word. It's just our generation name. And I think that that's something that you really got to sit back and realize is that when we're 57, when we're 67, we're still going to be considered millennials. I'm 24. Juan just turned 24. Like I said, BJ 24. Tony, you 24? Jay, you a little older.
26.
26, but he still
years old.
fits that millennial mold. So
Of
I
course.
think that we come at things a little bit differently in terms of how we see the world, how we see certain situations that are going on, how we approach different situations based on how we're brought up. But I don't think that necessarily means that that our opinion shouldn't matter and things like that. So I think that's why we want to get it out there. So I think that what we want to discuss first, since we've gotten our introductions out the way, is just what it took to get this off the ground. I think that it is a, I guess, quote unquote millennial mindset and mentality to always have these ideas, but not necessarily put anything on paper. And I can honestly say that this group of guys right here, we're all in the group chat. That's kind of how it started, how we got this idea to do this. We are guilty of that. I think we are extremely guilty of coming up with a lot of ideas, coming up with a lot of cool things that we think that can work and be fun, but never actually doing them. And we finally said we're going to sit down and do this podcast, and we was going to get ready to roll today, and we ran into some complications.
As always.
Ran into
As
some
always.
complications.
Say the least.
We had some car issues,
Two
Car issues,
Two
some
car
bank
issues.
some bank issues.
Family issues.
family issues.
The
I mean,
devil was working today.
The devil was working today. The devil's always working. But to me, that means that we got something good. That means we got something good. So I believe, like I said, that we're trying to break the mold and break the mentality that millennials are, spoiled and just overzealous, get too many things handed to them. I think we're trying to break that mold. So I think that, our next topic that I want to go into is being on time and communication.
Well,
Okay, well,
being on time doesn't happen often.
especially not with this group of friends.
No.
We can say we're gonna be there in 5 minutes. Not even leave the house. Not
We were-
even dressed.
We were supposed to meet at what time today? Noon?
We supposed to meet at noon,
We met at 1:44.
1:44.
How long have we had these plans?
That's when you guys met. I just got here.
Yes.
Tone
Yeah.
just walked into the
Exactly.
We've
door.
had these plans for 3 months
3 months.
and couldn't be on time. Couldn't be on time. Can't plan nothing.
Nothing.
Can't plan a trip to save our lives to go anywhere. And I know y'all listening can relate to this. I know y'all and y'all friend groups and y'all group chats and all these things. You get a cool idea. You want to go out of town. Somebody doesn't put in the money. Somebody doesn't book the room. Somebody comes up with an excuse. That happens day in and day out. Matter of fact, while we bring it up,
what?
since we're on the subject,
Since
we
we're here.
got so far as to have the money sent to the person who was supposed to book the room, Jason,
And he said,
All
and he
Right,
sent
all
it
right,
back.
all right.
I ain't never heard of that before. But
while we here, explain yourself.
Well-
please explain yourself. We may as well get
Well-
it out of the way now.
Well, see, the issue was
Okay.
it was Tawan. It was Tawan.
Tawan?
It was Tawan. Because we all wanted to do the Apple Pay, right?
Right.
The Apple Pay.
This is a millennial thing right now.
Yeah,
Apple Pay.
it's easy.
I'm
You
telling
know,
you,
you
man,
just
this
you
technology
you
crazy.
just send the
It's
money.
crazy.
You send the money through the iMessage, right? Tawan refused to send the money.
But did I send it?
He sent it. He sent it to me, and I sent it to you.
I think you know
This is
the,
this is dysfunction. This is dysfunction. We're gonna solve issues also on this show while we sit here. We're gonna solve our own issues while we do shows, and in turn help you all out there listening solve your own issues. I hope you take what we got going on here and then revert it back to your friend group, because I don't understand how
I don't
we
get
had
it.
the date set, the plan set, the money
the
set.
plan is still set.
But where
the
are we
plan's still
staying?
set,
Is the
but
plan
we
still
don't know where
Can I
we're
have my
staying.
money back?
Do you know
That's
how
the key.
hard it is to find an Airbnb for 10 people in Toronto?
That's why you gotta
But
lie
we
and tell
found
them
one.
4.
Yeah,
and
you
just
exactly.
say
You know,
something.
yeah, that's what
I
you.
know.
Come on now, you know that's true. You lie and say you got 4, and then you show up and get the keys, and then we come later.
Jason,
They not
you know
checking
How
in at
long
the
did you live in
place.
Detroit?
A long time.
And you don't know how to finesse?
Yeah, well, the one that we found, I read the fine print, and there's people that live in the basement.
Oh man, we don't know.
We don't
Yeah.
need that, but
We
you
don't
found
need
another
With
one.
all with
Fuck,
all
that
with
was
all the
fine.
shenanigans that are gonna happen.
There will
Yeah,
always
we
be
don't need
shenanigans.
this.
Well, we
We're
will
not
find
gonna-
another one. We need.
I just don't understand. I'm telling you, it's being on time is communication. What I don't understand is, we all got iPhones.
Yeah.
You got iMessage, you got DMs, you got Twitter,
Yeah.
you got Instagram. How many group chats are we a part of within our own friend group?
Too
We got
many.
a text one, an Instagram one, a Twitter one, and a Snapchat one.
We got
and
2,
one for this show.
and we got one on Snapchat without BJ.
And we got the one on
Yeah.
tap. I think I added you
We,
back.
we,
in.
we,
I'm
just,
in there.
we just added them back.
We just added them back.
Unfortunately,
You say something wrong
Oh,
on
did
this
the
show, you
name
get kicked
change?
out again. That's possible. Listen, suspensions can come from this show and
this
be reverted back to
is
chat.
is
case-
by far the pettiest friend group
That's fine.
ever.
In
ever.
case you ain't know,
One
BJ
mistake
be
and you're
acting
done.
up.
BJ do be acting up.
BJ be acting up.
You're gonna
I
hear.
did
We're gonna hear a
last
lot of stories
year.
about
Last
BJ acting up.
Okay.
It's only been 6
I've been-
days,
I've
right?
been good for the past
I've
week.
been good for the past week. No, you have not.
New,
It's
new
actually
year,
honest with
new
you.
year, new
For the past
BJ.
Yeah, new year, new me.
Actually, you know
New
what?
me.
We may as
Brings
well
us
just
to our
jump into
next
that.
Bring it in.
Bring
Let's
us
bring
to our
it in.
next topic.
Let's do it.
And this is really the main topic of this show. I mean, I could talk about this for the next 45 minutes we got. Since it is a new year, it is 2018, started 6 days ago. that brings with it the New Year, New Me crowd, the New Year's resolution crowd. I hate a lot of them.
Oh my goodness.
Can't
them all.
stand them. Hate them all.
All of them.
Now, the way that these shows work, if you watch, sports shows, sports-based shows and stuff like that, is it usually helps when people disagree. But I'm not sure that any of us disagree here when it comes to New Year, New Me, and when it comes to New Year's resolutions. Because why do you need to find a reason to become the 15th version of yourself coming in the year 2018? Okay, how are you changing yourself? How have you not found something that doesn't work?
In the defense of the New Year, New Me people, I'll take it. The people that don't do it every year, I cut them some slack. Like it's some people that every single year is New Year, New Me.
Can't stand.
But some people, they go through like some traumatizing situations that year. Relationships, anything financial, whatever. So they're trying to try to bring those positive vibes. Maybe it's something mental. They're trying to say to themselves like New Year, New Me. I'm gonna start off this year doing this. I'm gonna start off doing that. I don't know. But the other people that do it every single year, bro.
Every year.
Nah,
I don't get it.
Why do you have to phrase it as that? Like I get that, and the same thing that goes with resolutions. Like you set goals for yourself that are attainable, but why is it that you're setting a goal like Tone? Your New Year's resolution is not to be a great father, is it?
No.
Your life resolution is to be a great father.
Exactly.
So or Jason, your New Year's resolution is not to be the best basketball player you could be. Or BJ, yours is not to be the best cop you can be. That's a lifelong resolution. So everybody that's like, my New Year's resolution is to lose 15 pounds. That should be your resolution, period.
Yeah.
Why did you have to wait till January 1st
resolution, that's
to
a
start
goal.
that?
Did you wake up January 1st and think, I want to gain 15 pounds this year?
Right.
I don't think I've
to
ever made a New Year's resolution.
Nope.
Really?
I believe in,
They
like,
used to make us do them in school.
I think some good can come from it though, like, cause think about it, we procrastinate as millennials. We procrastinate a lot.
Very true.
All the time.
Procrastinating king over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Very,
So
very true.
when you think about a goal you want to accomplish and you want to attain, whether it's this year, next year, whenever, you think about it, but the hardest part is doing it. So you've been procrastinating all that last year. You probably made the same goal, probably didn't achieve it, just the way your mindset was set up. But now you have this New Year, New Me. I feel like it's some type of initiative. You're taking initiative. Whether you do it or not, the hardest part is starting. So if that, encourages you to start because it's a new year, I feel like that could be good.
But at the same time, after January 1st, are you still saying it? Like after January 1st,
listen,
you ain't saying New Year, New Me no more.
Is it gonna?
Them
is it
gyms,
gonna
Planet
last?
Fitness and LA Fitness, they was real packed on
Packed.
January 2nd. Come January 6th,
Not so bad.
Will,
Not
will
so
it,
bad.
will it be as packed?
will it be as packed? Probably not. I feel you, though. I feel you, Tone. I understand that you got to set, it's good to set a date, like a start date. And it's always like January 1st is a good start date. But it's like, will you continue it? Will you continue it? It's like, it goes on to like what we was going to talk about also with like relationships. When you go through a bad breakup and all of a sudden I'm going to focus on myself.
Right.
What exactly does that mean? Focusing on yourself. You're going to focus on yourself from January 1 to you get into a new relationship, and you're going to stop focusing on yourself?
I'm going to focus on myself. I need to find myself. Like,
Find myself, focus on
Find yourself
myself. To
doing
me,
what?
it's all in the same bubble.
And 5 months later, you have a kid.
Exactly. Like,
I feel
like
like later you're in a new relationship.
right.
Yep.
I don't get that. It's like, and then it's like the New Year, New Me, or I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to learn about myself. I understand, like Tawana said, you can go through things, you can go through traumatizing events in your life, and you need to reshape and evaluate how you move and how you walk. But at some point, you got to know who you are, and you just got to accept who you are. You got to be happy with who you are.
I think a lot of people just do it for likes and attention,
It's all
or
social
like
media.
the people
Everything
who,
in this society is social
the
media
people
driven.
who do the I'm just focused on myself. They're just trying to basically subtweet the person that
Oh,
they
yeah.
date.
Right.
100%.
Absolutely.
Social media
How many
changed
times have we seen that
everyone's.
this past week?
Man.
The snaps that have gone up.
That's all it
Yeah, all
is.
the
People talk
projection.
about my ex jumped in my DMs. My ex hit me up in the new year. Not this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
2018. Not gonna be me. Come on, that
Okay.
stuff is just attention seeking.
Yes.
But that's our generation.
It is.
Our generation is about affirmation. Y'all watch Black Mirror?
Yes.
So I watched the episode
Watch Narcos.
Black Mirror. I'm sure a lot of people know what Black Mirror is. And for those that don't, it's like the 21st century new millennium version of Twilight Zone. where essentially, the story, Netflix kind of picked it up. I think they stole it from England, which is kind of funny. But they essentially take crazy technological situations and apply it to real life. And first of all, whoever comes up with these episodes is absolutely nuts. Because the stuff that goes in these episodes is crazy, and it really makes you think. But
in a genius way, though.
In a very genius way. But I was watching the episode, I don't know, Tone, if you saw the one, Nosedive, where every time you talk to somebody, you give them a rating. Mm-hmm. And essentially you give them a rating from 1 to 5, and 5-star people obviously can do more things than 1-star people.
She had to go to the wedding,
Yep,
right?
and she had to go to the wedding and give a speech. And the only reason she wanted to go to the wedding and give a speech is because there was a lot of 4.8 star and above people there, and she was going to get her rating up so that she could get the apartment she wanted. And that's what this show does. It makes you apply it to your life. That's life now. Yeah. Life is about, for some reason, it's about affirmation. Like Tawan said, it's about likes. And we all care about likes. Y'all can't sit here, and nobody at this table can sit here and say they don't care about likes.
No.
We do.
I don't care about likes.
You a liar, bro.
I don't care about likes.
You a liar.
It's a lie.
Oh, yeah, that's the biggest lie right there.
It's a lie.
I tell you what, I post a picture of me with my shirt off, and I get 6 likes. It's gone.
It's gone.
Never saw it.
You're going to be upset, right?
That is true.
Jason, you tell me you tweeted, matter of fact, that you was happy.
I did.
With the love you was getting on your
My picture
your
just hit 300 likes today.
And you's
happy.
happy.
In case anyone was wondering,
count 'em
300
up.
likes. Yeah.
But again, bringing it, tying it full circle, that these New Year, New people, and I'm going to focus on myself, it's all for affirmation. It's all for likes. That's what the society is that we live in. That's what millennial, essentially, mentality is right now, is everything is about, like, it's personal clickbait. You want people to click on your stuff and see your stuff and talk about you and ask you. You're forcing people to ask you stuff. I can't stand when somebody forces me to ask a question when they know I don't know the answer. That to me is one of my pet peeves, and that's what people do. Like I said, when people are talking about how my ex hit me up, like why are you making that public? Why is that? Why are you making DMs like? Stop making DMs public. 2018,
man.
That's got to be
private
something.
for a reason.
It makes you scared to even say anything because you don't know if you're gonna be posted
You don't know what you're gonna be posted.
You don't know if you're gonna get exposed.
Right.
Look at this annoying dude hit me up.
Right. It's like it's crazy.
Now you're a
like,
meme.
Yeah. Now you're a meme. Everybody.
All it takes is one screenshot. One screenshot.
That's it.
Send it to a group chat.
Oh,
it's done.
It'd be a world star with a
we do it.
hashtag. Pray for
We
it.
do.
Pray for BJ.
Like whatever. Like I don't get that. Like that's a form of communication now. How else are you supposed to get in contact with somebody? And it's like you sit on it, and it's like you wait, and you're like, maybe I'll run into this person. Maybe I'll run into this person. I don't really want to DM them. That sends a bad vibe. And then you do it, but then it's not even nothing disrespectful. And then they still go ahead and screenshot it and plaster it everywhere. It's like I understand if it's somebody that's like if you
Consistent.
or something like that. But
Hey, what you doing? What you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, did you get my other text?
Yeah, I get that. Like, again, that's looking for affirmation.
The where's my hug, guys?
Oh, yeah.
You could put those with PJ. You could put those people on blast, but
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. But that's
People count their likes and the DMs and
man.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
It's like what we were talking about earlier.
Every
It's like
single
with
one.
likes and everything. Every single person has a fit at the end of their name.
Man,
Something fit.
you are not.
Lisa Joe fit. Like
You,
it's-
you
Everybody
are not
has
a
that.
personal trainer.
not a personal
You're
trainer.
not a fitness model. All you did was start working out, and your New Year's resolution, couple days a week at Planet Fitness, you decide to record yourself, and all of a sudden, like you said, you're Lisa Joe fit. It's like it's affirmation because like you said earlier, it's gonna bring people to your page.
Yeah.
Because they want to say, oh wait, this might be another Instagram model or this and that, and you know how Instagram models and girls that are doing that fit stuff, post stuff, and the leggings and all this stuff. So that's gonna attract people to it. Like we said earlier, it's fine for the people that actually are bringing in some kind of revenue from it or getting some kind of sponsorship from it, but it can't be everybody. Like it is unbelievable.
But how do you get to that point?
What do you mean?
You bringing in revenue and you have all these people. You got to post. You got to market. You got to however
Yeah.
you got to do it.
But you better be consistent with it.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
But
it's
there's
like,
so many people out there
Right.
that do it. So it's not like you.
It's
How
not
you gonna
right.
How are you gonna be any special?
You think this got something to do with net neutrality?
Net neutrality? It might. It might. Man, people overblew that so much, man.
I still don't even know
I have
no idea,
exactly
man.
what it is.
No idea.
I was worried. I was worried and sweating about it. And I didn't even know what it was.
People ain't know.
No
People
clue.
thought y'all was gonna be paying like $12
I
million
thought it was gonna be,
for
I
Netflix
thought it was gonna be
and all this
paying
stuff.
for yeah.
I mean, I tried to break it down for y'all.
Still
It's
didn't
not that
understand.
big
At
a
that point,
deal.
they might as well bring
honestly.
Blockbuster back.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I'll be there every Friday.
It's crazy, man. I mean, shoot.
It
I mean,
is.
if that was a real weird non sequitur, but we could talk about it if you want.
No, we won't talk.
All right,
No,
then
no,
we'll
no.
talk about net
That's-
neutrality. 'cause,
that's,
I mean, the thing did get passed. Matter of fact, I think Netflix done bumped up their subscription.
They did.
They
They
did.
did.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? They got Will Smith acting on a Netflix
Man.
original.
And they
I gotta
got Dave
watch that.
Chappelle specials.
They did.
They brought
I
Dave
just watched the
Chappelle
Dave
out
Chappelle,
of
What y'all
last
think? What y'all
night,
think about the
Just
Chappelle
this past
special?
week.
You know what? I
you know
like
what?
the
Let's-
first one.
let's
I
talk
didn't.
about it.
I know
I
it is.
didn't
That's a
like
good
the
topic.
second one.
I didn't
Let's
really
talk
like the
about
second one.
I
either,
didn't
but
like
let's
the
talk about
second
The first one was good.
Yeah.
The second one, I mean, it was some parts that was
Right.
funny.
But
my thing is,
go for it.
I don't like. I know he said the thing about the transgenders and everything like that, but in his defense, like everybody, like if you want to be equal, you gotta be
catch
able
these
you gotta
jokes
be
like
able
I
to catch
said.
these jokes like everybody else.
100%.
Like he jokes about every single person.
And
Like
he made it very clear in the special, in his first thing, that he is absolutely 1,000% not against transgenders in any way, shape, or form. But everybody's out here looking for equality. We're all looking for equality as African American men, young men in this country. Everybody in the LGBTQ community is looking for equality, which is fantastic. And I pray every single day that everybody can just be treated equal.
LGBTQ. What Q stand for?
Queer, man. Come on.
No
Come
question.
Oh my goodness.
on. But
I thought it was LGBT.
they added the Q a few
Yeah.
years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get that update.
But
Be careful.
as Tawan just said, if you want to be included, you have to also catch these jokes
Oh, yeah.
in
Yep.
comedy specials. And he makes it real clear where he stands on it. But he's a comedian, and he started it off with the fact that this world is just sensitive. This
Yeah,
world is
it
very
is.
sensitive
Very
right now.
sensitive.
And there are certain reasons why, and certain reasons that are justified.
Yeah.
Certain reasons politically that are justified because of some stuff we got going on in office right now. But
But at the end of the day, as a whole, I feel like
it's real sensitive.
everyone's
man.
just so sensitive.
It's like you can't say anything.
You can't say anything.
You can't
No.
say anything.
But I think it's the reason why everybody gets so sensitive about what's going on is because you see everything on social media. What do you do when you pick your phone up? As soon as something bad happens, you can look right at your phone, you see videos, and then you start seeing all these comments about it and what everybody's saying. You're like, oh, you know what? That's the way I feel too. You know, you make a good point. Or the opposite. Oh, I hate that. I can't stand that. And that's where everybody attacks. So now you go out to something in public and you're live and somebody's just doing their job and it's not real. You apply it to real life and you get upset about it when it's not even you.
It's
So
crazy.
I don't understand it. I mean, the second special to me was it was different. A lot less laughs.
It was
A
very,
lot
very
less
conscious.
The first one, the second one was the second one to me was the one that was kind of like, all right, it's.
I feel like he was just trying to get out of there.
Yeah, he said it was like
Yeah.
an intimate session. I mean, they Netflix threw the bag at him, so
They did.
I don't blame him. But I mean, he brought up Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey and all that other stuff, and
It started off funny, like
it did. I mean, it's comedy, but
Yeah.
but Dave Chappelle is one of the most socially conscious, socially woke, if you want to use that term,
Very.
Yeah.
people in America. And he knows what's going on. He knows what's out there. He talked in the first special about that he voted the second time in his life voting was for Hillary Clinton
Yeah.
to try to keep Trump out of office, and essentially they blew it. And I mean, he's made it clear where he stands, but. Like we said, everything is just so sensitive now. It's like you can't say anything. You can't say anything. And it's I think you need stuff like Chappelle and like Family Guy and South Park and all those things to just lighten the mood sometimes because everything is, like I said, it's just so sensitive.
So
you can't say
You can't say anything.
Right.
Just think about when we were in college. We couldn't tweet anything.
Yeah.
Anything we tweeted, they'll blow up. But now that we out of college, like we can go ahead and tweet whatever we want.
Right.
I mean, it might get blown up, but it won't be as bad as on the front page of the state
Right.
Lansing
Yep.
state news and stuff like that. So, I mean, everybody is sensitive, but at the same time, he was talking about. I mean, his special was talking about controversial like issues that's going on in the world.
But
White
that's-
people, black people, Mexican. He talked about every single person.
That's
Like,
what he does.
Yeah, a lot of people who, I mean, if you never even seen Chappelle and you just watched it for the first time, nobody saw when he dressed up as being a Klan member.
Right.
Like, that was part of his special. That was
Top
probably one of
five
the
favorite
that was probably one of the funniest ones.
Right.
And
Classic.
if I'm sitting here laughing at it,
Right.
like I'm sure like everybody else, like he's not hurting you that bad. Bro.
No, not at all.
And the thing he said about the transgender thing, it was just he told a story.
Right.
It wasn't like he was bashing them or saying that they were terrible people. He told a story, and somebody got mad and they took it and ran with it. As the whole community, I guess like the whole community is after him, but
I thought it was funny.
personally.
I'm
I thought it was
almost
funny.
positive there's transgender people that laughed at it.
Oh yeah.
100%.
But
Absolutely.
I also guarantee you transgender people who laughed at it, but then when they saw everybody else was mad, like, oh, they jumped on the train, like, oh,
Right.
Yeah, they changed their mind.
I
Got upset
should be
about it.
mad. Let me go ahead and.
But shoot, when I watch Family Guy and they do black jokes, I laugh at those.
I laughed
We all laughed
I
behind
laughed for a
closed
long
doors. I
time.
think
For a
everybody laughed
long
behind
time.
closed doors.
But
funny.
then there's black people who
Yeah, get all offensive.
yeah,
Like,
get
hold on.
offended. and-
Absolutely.
yeah. So I mean, I guess you have to see both
I'm all
sides.
for a good laugh,
It's a
but
joke.
everybody's not comedians. So and some people just try to
Yeah.
do it just
Right.
If we're gonna change anything in 2018, let's be less sensitive.
Less sensitive. I like
Okay.
that.
less sensitive,
Okay.
I guess. Less
So we're going to
racist.
stick to the goals we set. If you're gonna do it.
What did you say?
Less sensitive and less racist. I
Like
guess.
like Darian said, that should be a life goal. That shouldn't be a New Year's
won't
goal.
happen.
Which is crazy, man. And that's actually, I mean, I wish we could be less racist, but
Ain't gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen, man. And
No.
you know what's crazy is, like I said, you look at what's going on in this country. You look at the political climate.
Yes.
Don't understand how we allowed that to happen, but it happened. So then there's people that look at us as minorities, African Americans in this country, and they say their main thing is, well, you didn't go through slavery. You
Man.
didn't go through segregation. You didn't go through this. You have the same opportunities as everybody else. And I don't think that's true.
That's not true.
Just because you don't go through it doesn't mean you don't suffer the repercussions of everything that happened.
Everything
Everybody
that
else who
happened,
went through it.
Everything that happens.
That's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like you haven't gone through it. Like just because you didn't go through it doesn't mean anything.
And we all feel it. I think everybody at this table has felt it in some kind of way. And I think that that's obviously something that that we could, like I said, we can bring to the table for everybody listening is, real life experiences that come from being a minority in America. There's, like I said, there's a reason that these guys are kneeling for the anthem, and everybody's getting so upset about it. Everybody's yelling about it, and everybody's like, "Well, it's disrespectful to disrespect." No, it's not. It is bringing attention to one issue, which is the social injustice of African Americans, minorities in this country, and we've all felt it. We've all felt it. We've all felt it by law enforcement, and we're sitting here with a guy in law enforcement right here. I can tell a story about the last time that I was pulled over and got a ticket, about the lady that told me if I ain't paid, I was going to be arrested, and was probing at me to throw a fit, wanted me to say something. And I just smiled in her face and said, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, the whole time. And I think I tweeted this whole story. And like I said, we got BJ here who's in law enforcement. And we ask him the tough questions all the time. We ask him when something comes up. We ask him when a video comes up. We say, is this acceptable? Is this not? And he gives us an honest answer. So to me, having a minority African-American cop in our friend group means
Also
that
millennial.
millennial is going to give us the real all the time. And the real is that there's a lot of things out there that just shouldn't be going on. So, for everybody that's like, well, you all didn't go through it, you all don't go through it, we do go through it. Because like someone said, we feel the repercussions.
Like you don't. That's like Darian's saying. Like you don't have to go through it. Like even me, I played football and playing NFL and everything, and until people find that out, that's when their whole perspective change on me. And before, if I don't say anything, they just see me walking down the street, all you see is a big black guy or whatever like that. They're not going to approach me.
You are a pretty big black guy.
Yeah, but if they find out, I played, they find out this stuff or something like that.
Changes.
They'll run up to me like it's
Yep.
so different. Just like Darren was saying, like when he ran into situation with a cop, like I was on my way to see the point. I got pulled over. Speeding. I know I was speeding. I said, okay, yeah, I didn't argue with her, nothing. She made me get out the car and search me and made me come and sit in her car. When have you ever got pulled out of a car, searched for a speeding ticket?
Speeding.
Like, I know, like, if, like, if it was somebody else, who wasn't a minority, they would have got their ticket and would have been on their way. But instead, I had to sit there for like 45 minutes for a speeding ticket,
Right.
which I didn't
Makes no
argue
sense.
because I knew I was doing it. I saw it when I passed. I said, "Oh shit." You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, here we go. I'm sitting.
You know it's coming.
I knew she was coming.
Yeah.
I had to get that one out on the air. I had to get
Hey, you know what is
We all been in a situation like that, though.
NFCW? What's that is? I think that's what
Oh,
it is.
shit.
Yep, NFCW. We'll go ahead and throw that on there. We'll throw that disclaimer on here. Kids, y'all be
Yeah.
all right, man. Y'all have heard enough, man. It's a new day. It's a new day.
Man,
but
kids
no, I
these
agree,
days,
man.
kids these days talk worse than that on Call of Duty.
They do.
Oh my
Bro,
God.
them
They
kids
do.
on Call of Duty, man, they say whatever, man. But you know what? It's crazy, man. And I told you an hour will fly by. We're already 35 minutes into this thing. You can just take things in so many directions.
Yes.
Everything relates. So
Everything.
what you just said right there, Jason, about kids on Call of Duty or people on Call of Duty that can say whatever they want to say. Why? Because they're behind the mic. Just like
Gives them
people
that
that
platform to
sit
feel safe.
behind a
Oh, my
keyboard.
goodness, bro.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Sit
keyboard
behind the keyboard.
I'm sure you two would know
Keyboard
better than
warriors.
anyone.
Keyboard
Yeah.
warriors. Oh my gosh.
Keyboard
Can we? I
thugs.
mean, it's not gonna stop.
I
These
sit
internet
here, I
thugs,
s-
internet all Americans. It's not gonna stop. But can we at least try to stop it? Because you know for a fact if you saw some of us in person, you wouldn't say some of the things you said.
I saw somebody call Floyd Mayweather PUSSY and say he was gonna kick his ass, and it made me so mad because I'm sitting there like, bro, we both know the outcome of that. Like,
Right.
why are you sitting here? Like, I just hate when people get on social media and just hide behind a keyboard and just.
Hide
front.
behind
We
the
had
keyboard,
an
man.
instance not too long ago.
Which one?
When on Twitter.
Oh,
which
dude.
which
Oh,
one
the
of you
Michigan
guys?
fan?
Oh yeah, the
Both of us, man.
Michigan
yeah.
fans. Oh my
Man,
god.
I'm sure we'll get to that too. Listen, we
Randy, you a Michigan fan or? Okay, good.
good.
Okay.
Thank God. Because we gonna be state through and through on this show. So you just gonna have to deal with
green
that,
in this
man.
room.
But
What you got, Randy? What you got for us?
I'm not a sports fan.
Oh, that,
Okay,
hey,
that's cool.
As
He-
long,
he's
as long as
indifferent,
you're
so
not a
that's-
Michigan fan,
that's
you're
okay.
good.
That's cool.
That means he can be converted.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to work for the state extension office.
There it is.
Oh, okay,
There it
there
is.
it
Stayed in
There
there.
we
There
go.
you
We
go.
tried.
look, man, this studio great, man, because like I said, man, people know me. I got my Superman shirt on today, man. I had a dream I killed or got arrested for killing Superman.
I saw that
because I
on
took
Twitter.
NyQuil. And people got to understand, like, comic books and comic book movies and all that stuff. Like, that's my life. And I walked in this studio, and they talking about they been at Comic-Con all this time. I'm like, man, I can hang out with these guys. So I am gonna bring that up from here and through and through. If y'all want to discuss it,
We
with
don't
me,
wanna
you
discuss
can.
it.
Okay,
I
well,
can't- we don't wanna discuss it.
I'll throw superhero.
I'm not educated.
I'll throw superhero
That's where you lose
disclaimers
me.
and
We
everything.
need more
But
time.
anyway,
I can't
back
do
to what
it.
we were saying with these internet warriors, man. I mean, it's like I said. So it was that Michigan fan and started literally.
He got
Like,
racist.
he got racist.
Yeah.
Everything
I know, bro.
relates.
He
He
got-
thought that I was from Ottawa, Michigan, because I play in Ottawa, Canada,
It's-
and he said I know the guys that are from there. Basically saying he was uneducated. He said my degree didn't count. What? My degree didn't count.
When I proved him wrong, he immediately went to. He said, well. He said, "Well, I live down the street from Tiger Woods in a nice community.
In Jupiter,
how many in Jupiter, Florida? How many times have you got pulled over today?"
Yeah.
Automatically, he just jumped right
He said,
because I proved he had a little argument and I proved him wrong and I did it.
And what's
classically-
crazy is this wasn't even a person that like had like a random TwitterCon profile picture.
No,
this
it
was a
was
real person.
a
real person.
Real person.
Yeah.
Said how many people in your community get arrested every year? Literally said that. I'm like, this is 2017.
But
hopefully we
yeah.
can
I couldn't believe
change it in 2018.
But the good
Hopefully.
thing about that is when he did say that, most of the people who comment on it were white.
Right.
They were saying, you know, why are you saying this? You're racist, and that actually made me feel better because you
100%.
could see, you know, people actually, you know, trying to make a difference, and people can actually speak out and say something's wrong. Because a lot of people, even though like you know, you can have friends who you know are white and aren't racist, but at the same time, if they're not speaking out for you as well,
Absolutely.
are they really your friends?
That is a great point.
Because if
man.
I see something happening to them, I'm gonna speak out. I'm gonna speak out for them. If you
Right.
see something happening in my
Regardless.
community, like I expect you, like if you see something, say something.
Right.
It's simple.
And you know what? That brings me to think about this fact. And you know, like I said, man, with this show, we hope to spark discussion. We don't if you don't agree, say it. If you don't agree, say it. Tell us. But I feel like because we are minorities, because brother, Did you dab yourself?
Tawan just dabbed. Now
cannot
he's
make
choking.
You understand we're being recorded, right?
Damn.
Yeah. Remember that.
He's dabbed and now he's choking. I don't
what
get
I
the
was about to
correlation
say
there.
was us as minorities, us as African American men in this country,
Yes.
we go to bat for everybody. We go to bat for black women. We go to bat for the LGBTQ community. We go to bat
Hispanics,
when so we went to bat for Keaton Jones, man, when he was bullied. We came.
yeah.
And come to
We
find
came
out,
out the top rope, man.
And come to
What?
find out,
What
buddy,
happened?
I still don't understand what happened
Buddy's
there.
mom was racist.
Man, isn't that crazy? I'm talking about black athletes came from the top rope, came flying down
Throwing
to
money at
dude's
this
aid.
kid, at this family.
Big
That's
bag.
what we do.
I should have known something
Big
was
bag.
up when she made a GoFundMe account for
Man,
him.
for what? What you need money for?
I don't know, bro.
What do you need money for?
Someone,
but
saw
what
one
we do.
athlete offered her tickets to the game, and she said that
Tickets-
she'd
No, I'll
rather
take-
money.
I'll take the money.
I'll take the
MMA
money.
fighter,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
It's almost like what we was talking about today with like when you it was like that moral dilemma you go through in your head when you see somebody homeless out there, and Lord knows it is freezing out there.
Yeah.
And we're passing out gloves and doing all these things, but it's like when you see somebody that's homeless, what you should do is you give them food. You don't give them money, you give them food, because if they have a drug addiction or something like that, you don't want to support them. But some of them they turn them like, no, I'll take money.
Oh yeah.
Or they'll be like, I don't want the food.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's
And you know what they're gonna
it's
do.
like,
BJ, what buddy say when you try to get him a fish
Oh
sandwich?
yeah. I was in Vegas and I had a little bit of leftover food from my meal, some fish. I go to hand it to a homeless person sitting on the curb, and he opens the container. After saying thank you, he sees it and he goes, "Nah, I don't like fish." And he gives
man.
it back and leaves me standing there just
So
hurt.
Vegas got bougie bums.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bougie.
Bad and
That's
bougie.
crazy.
Bougie.
But yeah, that's kind of what Keith Jones' mom did. But that's my point. It's like we go to bat, and it just, I mean, like I said, everything comes full circle. When are the people gonna go to bat for us that don't look like us? That's all we ask for. That's it. Go to bat for us if you don't look like us. And like you said, when people
That's how
when that
change
dude
happens.
when that
Yeah.
dude that Michigan fan was coming up over us, people were flying in, white, black, candy apple red was coming in
Yeah.
and saying, you can't say that, this race, this and that, but we need more of that. We need more of that. We need more people to go out and stand up and denounce racism and bigotry and all this other stuff.
Exactly, because
That's
at
it.
the same time, yes, they did that, but at the same time, would they do it if I wasn't a football player?
Right.
That's
exactly.
what I was
Exactly.
getting ready to say. Was it because they were
Yeah.
state fans?
Yeah,
100% they were state fans.
They were,
Exactly.
of
And they
course
were
they
like,
were state
oh,
fans.
there's a chance to say here's a
Was a
Michigan
lot of
fan that's
football
racist.
moms.
Yeah.
Football moms.
Yeah, it was another
Yeah.
Way for them to jump on the Michigan sucks pile, which is great in its own right. But like you said, if we weren't football players,
Would you do the same?
would you do the same thing? And I don't know. I don't see a lot of that. That's something we need more of in 2018. I guess we've come up with a bunch of New Year's resolutions for other people. Even though I hate New Year's resolutions, so that's kind of hypocritical. But what we got? We got like 15 minutes left here. We were talking also when we went to eat about status.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Status is a big thing, and I know we're jumping all over the place for this first show, but that's okay. We'll hone it in when we get a whole bunch of suggestions, take
figure
some
it out.
surveys, figure out what everybody wants to hear. But for now, we're just talking.
Bear with us.
Status. Status is a big one, and it relates. Everything comes full circle when we talk about Instagram likes and everybody with the fit, then in their name and all this stuff. People, I feel like, naturally gravitate towards status. People essentially want to be with somebody that has some status.
That blue check mark.
That blue check mark
Oh, my
carries
goodness.
some
Oh
weight.
yeah.
Everybody
Only
wants
I
that
had a blue check mark.
Man, it carries some weight, and it's crazy. And it's like there's people out there that say that they're not attracted to status, but I don't
It's a lie.
think it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Everybody's attracted to status.
Right.
Status brings with it people that'll go to bat for you when somebody is being racist towards you. But if you didn't have the status, would they? So to me, it's like, what exactly is status? Because we're looking at we're seeing all these Instagram videos and stuff from Boot Gang and all
Don't
these
even get
these
Yeah.
clowns
Please
out
don't
here.
get me
But
started.
But they got status, and for some reason they blow up.
It's a level of notoriety somehow.
It's crazy.
I
Somehow.
don't understand it. I never will. I
It
hate
don't
it.
matter what you're doing, but if you have X amount of people that support what you're doing, then it's okay.
Is it support though? I mean, like as far as the boom game thing, you think that's support?
If people are following him and they're making their own versions of videos of doing the same thing he's doing, then that's
Those
support.
people are supporting, but not everybody. It's not everybody, but everybody's paying attention.
DJ academically
Everybody sees
supporting
it.
him.
Well,
you know.
so but
That's-
is there such thing as bad marketing?
Yes.
Is there such thing as bad marketing? Is
Good
LeVar
question. I don't
Ball?
know. I don't know.
LeVar Ball. Is there such thing as bad marketing?
No, he's a genius.
He's a genius,
great.
right? Why? Because he knows how to keep his name in the limelight.
Right.
So is there such thing as bad marketing?
No.
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 No such thing as bad marketing.
Because Boonk got 1 million followers, so he gonna pull in some kind of money.
At
from
the end
that.
of the day, he's got to look in the mirror,
Yeah.
though. He's got to look himself
he
in
does
the
have to look
mirror.
himself in the mirror.
You know,
But how many people out here
is
really
that
care
who
about
he
that?
wants to be? Is that is that who he wants to be?
We are
I mean,
living
but-
in a
looked at
society
as?
of status, likes,
Is that what you do forever?
blue checks.
How
Like,
long does that
can
last?
he show his kids those videos?
No.
You know?
I mean, I wouldn't show my kids those videos, but I would
I
make
can't
those
even look
videos.
at them when
so-
I see him pop up on my timeline. I just
No.
I skip by it. It just I don't understand it.
I agree with you. But like I said, man, status.
It's something.
It's a hell of a drug.
It is a hell of a drug, man. Status is unbelievable drug. You know what's crazy is we got 4 athletes here and one who tries to be an athlete.
Here we go with this. Here we go.
The most unathletic black guy I've
not
ever seen in my life.
That's not
in my
true.
life.
That's not true. That's not true.
And we
In the
ain't
room,
talked
at
about
least.
sports once. And I'm extremely proud of us for that, man, because we
Yeah, so am I.
We will get there.
we'll get
Of
there,
course.
but we didn't want this to be a sports podcast. We wanted this to be a life podcast because there's a lot of
Controversial podcast.
a very controversial podcast. So we can spend 10 minutes on LeVar Ball.
I don't want to talk about him.
Oh, we're gonna talk about him.
I don't want to talk
No,
about
we're
him
gonna talk
right
about
now.
him.
Jello and Melo,
They
went
landed
to
in Lithuania.
When's the first game? It's soon.
January 9th.
Let me tell you what
This-
LeVar
January
did.
9th.
LeVar
Is
said,
that Monday?
"Oh, exhibition games? I need that.
the big baller brand.
Big
what
baller
is it?
brand challenge games or
I
something
could-
like that." He
Yep.
done
A league.
branded the exhibition games in Lithuania to be broadcasted on Facebook.
That's Uncle Var.
Uncle
Uncle Var.
Var, man.
Imagine.
Just when you think he's done.
Breaking the system, breaking them up. We don't got to talk necessarily about him, but it's like doing things that break the system.
I told y'all, bro, when the buddy stole, I told you that was part of the plan, bro, all along.
When
think
he stole
so?
it, when he
You
stole
really
it,
think
when he
so?
stole it in
It's-
China.
It all, look how everything's all perfectly working together.
I know.
Everything works. Everything he pulled Melo out of school. Buddy went and stole in China. Pull him out of school. They got an agent. They over in Lithuania. All this extra hype. They can even walk through the airport. Over in Lithuania. Now he's streaming. He's about to stream the basketball games. Not every single game is gonna start getting streamed on. Shit, everybody want to see him.
Yeah.
Not to
Yeah.
mention he's starting that league too.
And
for,
he's starting the league.
I was just thinking about that. I
You
think
got
he
the
really
number 1 high
kids
school
is-
basketball player. Now I was talking to my coach yesterday. He brought up a good point because I thought the league was going to be good too. I think it challenges the system and challenges the mold. But I know it's an unpopular opinion. I don't really like college basketball. I love Michigan State. I don't like college basketball because I like to
You
see
don't
the
like
best in the world playing that sport. Turn on, daggone. The only reason I watched Oklahoma TCU was to watch Trae Young. I'm watching people miss shots in that game that the Cavs and Celtics ain't missing. So that is annoying to me. And so my coach brought up the point was,
football.
what was man,
Right.
college basketball?
I just the
So much
NBA.
better.
All right,
So much
listen,
better than
I
the
love
NBA.
the NBA,
Especially
but
today's NBA.
You
I
telling
love
me-
today's
Jason,
NBA,
you telling me you
but-
like the college more than NBA?
You like today's NBA?
listen, today's
We don't
the
even know
NBA right now is better than it's ever been. I think.
How do you know?
Ever,
It's the
ever,
best.
know?
It's the best
Ever.
league in the
Easy, bro.
But-
world.
How do you know?
I
not- it's
feel
not even
Were
an argument.
we around back then? We don't know if it
It's
was the
better.
best
It
NBA.
is.
easily.
The way
Easily.
the
You
the
don't
league
think
is
so?
structured right now is the best. It's the best league in
on.
the world.
You don't think so?
You don't even want sports.
I know, but still.
Oh my
on.
gosh.
Like I was saying,
I watch Michigan State.
Yeah, that's it.
I love the NBA these days, but there's some games it's like it doesn't get going till the second half.
Right,
like
like
guys just
pickup
running,
games.
just running up and down the court.
I went to the
just-
Pistons game when they played Golden State, and it
It's
didn't get
just-
hype until the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter.
If you
That's
go
all
to a
watch.
college game, the atmosphere, like you got the student section, you got the
They
fans.
build
like
houses there.
yeah.
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 I don't want to see
Yeah,
that.
listen. yeah, like, they're not
The
professional athletes,
referee
no, but
is awful.
the intensity level is much higher than an entire NBA game.
Yes, easily.
Easily.
And
I would agree with
NBA
Darian
Don't
on
care.
that just because of all the politics in college basketball. There's a lot of players that aren't playing that should be playing that aren't going to throw up those bricks.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
wanna
if
see-
we're talking as a whole,
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, we
that's
know that.
craziness.
No, don't get me started on
Get
that
started
shit.
on that. But no, that intensity stuff. That to me that's a weak argument to me.
you don't like
It's
it.
everybody's argument. Everybody's argument is in the intensity, the student sex, this and that. No, I want to see the best in the world competing at the highest level.
But I want to see my cousin, play against my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's fine, but you watch. But then you're watching who you know, just like we watch Michigan State, and you can't tell me that anything's better than NBA playoffs. Nothing's better than NBA playoffs.
The Super Bowl.
No. I'm
No.
taking NBA
March
playoffs over
Madness.
the
I don't know the last time I
What?
watched
I'm
the
taking
Super
NBA
Bowl.
playoffs over
We
March
watched it
Madness
last year.
too.
Over
watched the
March Madness.
commercials.
Over March Madness for sure. Why do you like March Madness? For the Cinderella stories. Who cares?
NBA Finals.
Why
I'll
do you
take the
watch-
NBA
so-
Finals
so-
over.
Okay, so y'all watch college
Skip.
basketball. Hold on, so y'all watch college
I
basketball.
thought we
Yep.
weren't talking about sports today.
Well, we're here.
So y'all watch college basketball. Who do you watch?
The Michigan State
Michigan
University.
State.
100%. Who else do you
I
watch?
watch Michigan.
Any
You watch any college
good
basketball
game? Any
game?
good game?
You
I
was
watch,
watching
any, I watch
UVA.
any Big Ten basketball.
No,
Why-
but
why
if
do you
if
watch
there's a
it?
college basketball game,
Why
on,
do you
I'll
watch
put any college basketball game on before I put on like the Pacers versus the Jazz. You know what I'm
You
saying?
tripping.
Come on.
So you'd rather watch
I wouldn't
Wichita
watch that.
State
Watch that.
versus whoever
Yeah.
than watch Donovan Mitchell go against Victor Oladipo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Honestly, yes.
No.
You only saying that you're biased because you
Yes.
went to
I'm
school
not.
with Victor out
Yeah.
there.
But he said Jazz and Pacers.
I should have used a different team.
Yeah.
Give me a different team then.
There's a DeMath
See, the NBA is
alumnus
good
on
now,
there.
so you
Give me a
can't
different
really-
team.
Yeah, the
My
NBA is
point
good
was,
now.
you're telling me that you watch college basketball to watch. My point was.
I just
actually-
think it's
my point was
better
going against
basketball.
LeVar's. What was going against what LeVar does is because I'm in the anomaly that I want to watch a college game to see the eventual pros. I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to watch a college game, but there's nobody in there that's good. And my coach was like, 99% of people watch college basketball to watch college basketball. They don't care who's playing. I care who's on the court. So if LeVar pulls Trae Young and Miles Bridges and Marvin Bagley from college basketball, he's going to pull my attention, but he's not going to pull 99% of the country's attention, and that's the issue that he might run into. Because if you're saying that you're going to turn on any college basketball game before you watch a pro game, that means you don't care who's playing. You don't care what player might be a lottery pick. You're still going to watch.
I want to watch good basketball. Good basketball.
NBA has so much better basketball.
But there's
With saying that-
there's just no intensity for
It
half the
is.
game. There's no intensity. Like guys are running up and down the court,
But
just
that's-
shooting. It's like pick up. It's
but
pick
is
up
that,
until
but
it's
is that
close.
because they're too good or because there's no defense? And which everybody says there's no defense. There is defense being
There's
played.
There's
defense.
definitely defense.
But they're just good. They're not missing shots. I don't want to see missed shots. I'm not watching a basketball game to see missed shots. I don't want to see you score 50 points.
Well, you don't want to watch me play then.
You're right. 'Cause I don't want to see you score 0 points.
We're not gonna get into this.
No. So who will win in the basketball game? You or Tone, Darian?
Me.
Oh my goodness, Lord
I'm
Moses,
waiting.
whoever you pray for.
Tone, you're a dad now. You're out of shape.
Oh.
No, that's not true at
Dad
all.
bod.
Hey, bro, you had
Dad
the
bod
dad
Tone.
jeans on, man.
Dude, I don't know what dream
I'm
you
taking
had.
Tone.
That's fine. Y'all put your side bets down. Let's go. I'm ready.
Really?
We
This
can do
needs to
this and come
happen.
back to the next podcast.
We can do this and come back to the next podcast with the results.
This
I'm
needs
offended.
to happen.
I'm ready.
Darren, I would go as far to say you might not score.
I'm taking Tone in this one. I have
I'll
to.
write that down.
My former teammate.
Man, bias. That bias is crazy.
Tawan, who are you taking?
What are you saying?
With me and Darian both being your former teammates.
Tawan knows exactly what you're saying.
What'd you say?
He's caught between a rock and a hard
Yeah.
place here.
Hold on, I gotta take this call.
So if
taking
somebody,
video of everybody.
so if this blows up and somebody offers us more money like they did Joe Budden, and y'all gonna be DJ Academics and stay back, or we all going? We live and die.
Live or die.
We live and die by
Live and die.
continue.
Live and
Okay,
die.
how about this?
Oh
if,
God,
if they only wanted two of us,
I'm gone.
or one of us, yeah, you just gonna lead a group, huh?
Sorry,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
what you doing?
Huh? I don't know, bro. I'll probably stay back. It won't be
So-
the same if I do a show with somebody else. I don't know.
So if you buy a lotto ticket off your friend or sell a lotto ticket to your friend for $200 and he win the lotto,
He got to come up off that
he
check.
got how much he coming back? He give you the 200 back.
Wait, how much did he win?
200 million.
He at least owe me 150.
He gonna give you the $200 back for the ticket.
I give him 50 million. He gonna give me that 150 though. I'm taking.
You taking 150.
150.
Yep.
So if
So he only get to keep
So in all
I
seriousness,
bought the ticket. Technically, I bought the ticket. I gave him the money.
You ain't played the numbers though. You just bought the ticket.
He ain't playing either. It's random pick.
He played the numbers.
Oh, we played the numbers.
Yeah.
We can split it half and half then.
So in all seriousness, man, CMTU take off. We live and die. It's all or none. One for all for one, and 3 for 5.
I heard
That's
it here
it.
first.
Yeah. Studio 4.
Tawan.
Studio 4.
Reporting live.
See, I don't trust
Wait,
him.
I don't trust
I'm
him
sorry,
either.
what was the question?
I said, I said we live and die together.
Yeah,
Right.
of course. I thought you were saying you was leaving.
No. Nowhere.
No.
This is us, man.
Out of here.
Well, shoot, man, we got about 3 minutes left. I told y'all, man, an hour rolled by quick.
Flew.
I was kind of worried about if we had enough content to.
I knew for sure we
so
had
we're
enough
really gonna
content. I didn't
run
know
out of
we would
content.
get
You
to
don't.
it.
You don't realize
for
how.
one
how
second, I
just
thought it was
flows.
gonna kind of die down. Then somebody picked it right back up. I said, all right, we good.
We
That's what
gotta
you
pick
gotta
it up,
do.
man.
You don't realize
Yeah,
just
yeah,
how it just flows and.
It would have got real awkward.
Well, 'cause
If we
can
could
all
have
talk.
a theme song, what would it be? We obviously can't because that's illegal. We'd have to get the rights.
Yeah,
but,
get
like,
some
what would
rights.
our
If we
theme
make our
song
own.
be?
BJ, you know, he was in a rap group back in the day, so we could probably
I
give
do
him
have
his
some
songs.
history making bars.
Go ahead, say something.
Jason
No.
was in a music video.
No, I wasn't.
Jason was
You
in the
weren't?
music video.
No, I was not.
Much more recently.
We're not gonna talk. We left that in.
Brownstones.
We're gonna leave that in 2017.
We almost left a couple people in 2017.
We did.
Oh man.
BJ, we talked about you were one of them.
Yeah, you were
Almost. That's why I said we did. I said almost.
Let me tell you, you just
Almost.
made the cut
I
back
almost didn't
in.
make
Like the world
He
almost
didn't
said
make
we
it, bro.
did, like
The
he wasn't one of
No, I
them.
said we did. As in, I
Closing on
almost got
BJ.
one. That's the point.
And he was like
Almost.
full speed through hyperspace trying to make it.
It was
through that
bad.
wormhole.
If it was up
It
to
was
me,
bad.
BJ
It
would
was
be
bad.
2017
Oh yeah, if it was
right
up
now,
to
I'll tell
Jason
you
for
that.
sure. For sure.
We
telling
gonna do
you,
a
man.
social network shout outs or anything?
Yeah, man, y'all go ahead, man. Sure, I'll start, man. You can
Oh,
follow me
y'all
on
got enough followers, man. You and Tom.
Man, you can follow me on Twitter
Followers.
at dharris_45. Follow me on Instagram, same thing at dharris_45. Follow me on Snapchat, TrillHarris45. I think that's all the social media there is out there. Young Juan.
You can follow me on everything at TJ_Spartan34. I repeat, TJ_Spartan34.
You can get me on Instagram, Anthony
Did
Smooth.
you have to look it up?
SMOOVE.
Yeah, look at that
He's
glow.
looking
You see
at
the
his
glow.
Instagram.
Because I have different names.
You know what? When I go to tag Tone or something, I never know what his name is. It changes all the time.
So Instagram, I'm Anthony Smooth, and then Twitter, I'm Good Bucket.
Which I don't know where that came from
And
because
Xbox
Oh, my
Bucket
goodness.
Jesus. I don't know why.
anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Bucket
If you want to get
Jesus.
jiggy on COD, I'm Xbox
Anyways.
Bucket Jesus.
Yeah. Well, if you want to follow me on anything, it's JAY_Marsh MARSH.
On everything, Jamal
Everything
Jordan
on
93.
social media.
I don't use it, but I have it.
He's a cop, so
I have
be
it.
careful.
Be careful,
Beware.
Jordan 93.
Be careful
Careful what you show him.
Be careful what you
Beware.
post around him.
Well, listen, guys,
He will-
man, we
he
done
will
made
come
it.
and get you.
We done made it through the first edition. Appreciate everybody that's going to be listening. Everybody's going to be listening to the future.
Hi, Mom.
Everybody's going to get their mom a shout out because the mom's going to be
Shout out
listening
Cassius,
also.
too.
This
Shout
podcast
out
is
Young
for
Cash.
everybody, for real, man. It's for the kids. It's for adults. It's for college students. It's for grandmas. It's for grandpas. It's for everybody. So everybody tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell
Bringing
a
it down
friend.
from the 99 to 2000.
Shout out 2 Chainz.
yeah.
Shout out Juvenile on that.
cannot
Shoot,
make
man.
this up.
We're going to have to start this new slogan, man, to end the show, man.
Can't make it up.
Stay blessed, stay true, and stay humble. Everybody like that?
I like it.
Well, that's how we're going to end every show. Stay blessed, stay true, stay humble. Hit us up on all of our social medias. We're going to have social media pages for the show up rolling pretty soon. But you can email us at cmtupodcast@gmail.com. Let us know your feedback. Let us know what you want on future podcasts. So, as I said, thank you. I really appreciate everybody listening. And we will see you all next time.
And cut.
Microphones are off.
Lit.
That's good.
That was it.
Woo!
And